How are you, everyone? This is the word of the day. Words have power, and the quality of life that you have right now, you have spoken it into existence by the words that you use on a daily basis. You have relationships with all the words that you say, and that's how you create in your life. So let's identify one word that I want you to keep in mind this week to see how it shows up in your life. The word for this week is resilience. Resilience. The definition of resilience is to overcome or withstand difficulties. To overcome or withstand difficulties. When I was in my early years, in my 20s and 30s, I drank heavily. I was one of those guys that, even though I'm only 5'7", I could drink everything in the bar and wouldn't fall out. But what would happen is that I would get into physical altercations all the time, wherever I went. It was the way I lived. And since I was a boxer, I kind of won all the fights, so it didn't really stop me from doing it. However, it created a lot of difficulties in my life. And it wasn't until I turned 38 years old that I decided to stop drinking. And when I decided, I said it once and I never drank again, which is very important. So, going back to the definition of resilience, to overcome difficulties, to withstand difficulties. You see, alcohol was a difficulty in my life, and it probably is in some of yours. It created obstacles to my financial progress. It created obstacles to my personal development and my stability. But I didn't see it as a difficulty. So I want you to identify this first. What are the difficulties that you are experiencing in your life right now? Those difficulties that we like to blame on somebody else or something else are the red flag inviting you to become resilient and to have resilience. The day that I chose and decided to stop drinking, that's the day that I acquired resilience. Because the difficulties in your life are inviting you to make a different decision. You see, every time I got into trouble because of alcohol, I would just ignore it and blame, oh, these guys, they just want to fight with me. They want to hate on me. I had all reasons why other people wanted to fight me, but it was me, the one that was looking for trouble and creating trouble. And until I took responsibility for that, then I was able to decide to make a different decision, and then I acquired resilience, which is to withstand or overcome a difficulty. And the important thing is this: once you make a decision also about those difficulties that you are experiencing in your life, you gotta say it once and stick with it, okay? Give it your best shot. Don't do like a lot of people do. Oh, I'm gonna stop drinking, and 2 days later, there they are. Or a year later, there they are drinking. I'm 53 now, so I lost count how many years it's been since I drank. But I don't count the years. Why? Because I decided to stop drinking, and that's the end. There's no use for me to count when or how long, okay? Now, when it comes to being resilient and having resilience, it's important that you craft a vision for your life. That vision cannot be seen with your eyes. That vision must be imagined in your mind and go beyond the present limitations and difficulties that you have in your life in the present moment. That vision for me was a better life, a more stable life, a life when I felt responsible to take care of my family. Even though I always took care of them, right? I never lost my job or anything like that. It was a turbulent existence, and I needed to make sure that as a provider, I was responsible. And that vision that I created for my life was to create a better, more stable life for myself and those that I love, my wife, my kid, etc. And so, craft a vision for the life that you intend to have. Once you identify those difficulties, make a different decision, stick with that decision, and have a vision that you will pursue and become resilient to pursue, okay? And that vision is what will inspire you. Nothing wrong with watching videos like this that will give you motivation. But remember, motivation is an external source, and that will pull you. What you also need, and one most importantly, is something that will push you. And that is the inspiration that you will create from within. with the vision that you have for the better life that you intend to have. That's how you become resilient. That is resilience, becoming better and overcoming the difficulties that you have in your life today. So as you go through this week, I want you to identify, what are you resilient about? What difficulties do you encounter during the week and you continue making the same bad decision and the difficulty keeps showing up in your life rather than making a different decision to overcome the difficulty once and for all? That's when you will become resilient and acquire resilience. If you find this video useful and you're gonna be paying attention to how the word resilience shows up in your life this week, leave a fire emoji in the comments. And if you're not following me, you might not see me again. But if you are, congratulations, you are on the path of continuous growth. See you at the top, where the champions belong.